Peace. Okay guys, welcome back. It's going to be me taking the reign from here. Rapid has gone to get himself ready for his flight, which is super understandable. I wasn't expecting him to come to cast at all today, so huge shout outs to him for taking time out of his preparation to actually come and help me out. So we're going to be heading into, I think, what is going to be the star match of today. It's going to be two of our top teams from round one. And when we look at the rosters, there's going to be a little bit of a surprise for many people, I believe. But having a look, we are going to have SouL versus NetWars. I can get rid of the Eternal Friends logo now because their series is finished. SouL, the winners of Season 1, they did take first place over White Clan in the final match. They went to an ace match in the final best of 7 against White Clan. It was noob versus best. It was an incredible PvP, and of course it meant SouL Gaming won the championship. They've won 32 of their series overall. They've won every single time they've met NetWars. They've beat them 3-0, and so far they're top of the table in Season 2 with 2 wins, 0 losses as well. Now NetWars are a very, very strong team. I believe they're actually all entirely Polish, a big Polish Brood War and StarCraft 2 community. They came 4th overall in Season 1. They lost in the playoffs in the 3rd and 4th place match against IRK in a really fun series as well. If you did miss those games, they are up on the STPL TV YouTube. And Seri just spoiled the big surprise here because Bonith has made the switch. Just to show both of our team lineups here, we're going to start with Scan versus Catspaw on New Tornado. Catspaw stepping in for Yeti. We're going to have Noob versus Koga on Blitz Eggs in a PvT. Then we're going to have Zealot versus Zero on Multiverse in a ZVZ. And then we're going to have Bonith against his old team here on White Owl up against Wolf. It should be a fun matchup there. Bonith, of course, one of the top non-Korean players. Not fun. If you want to add the code to Matrino, if you do !donate, it will link both the Patreon, which is a great way of sponsoring the STPL, and also you can add money to the Matrino through either donating or if you use the code LSTPL. Our wonderful sponsors at Matrino, on top of the wonderful sponsorship we got from Liquipedia, have given us 200 codes to use, all of them 50 cents, but they should be all used up because the quicker we use them, we might get some new ones as well. And obviously adding an additional $100 to the prize pool with just the codes will be awesome. So make sure you guys are using those codes because it means a lot to both the players and myself to get that done. So having a look at our first 2 players here, Scan, of course, needs no introduction. STPL rank number 2. He's won 24 games overall. He's got 2200 ELO and an 85% win ratio. And against his opponent's race, he's 11 wins, 3 losses. So Scan has shown he can bleed, but he is an incredibly strong player. The last 10 games he played, the only game he lost was a TBT in the grand finals of STPL Season 1, and that was on Eye of the Storm, an incredibly fun match as well. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him play again. And his opponent going to be, for NetWars, it's Catspaw. Now, Catspaw hasn't actually played since last December, so it's been a while since we've seen him in the STPL, and he did actually go at WoW. The last game he played against was actually against Scan. How unfortunate getting Scan 2 games in a row, but you know what? Maybe he's learned from his Coliseum 2 game, and he's back again, so we'll have to see what's going to go on there. And having a look at our first map, it is going to be on New Tornado. I saw someone in chat before that they were excited to see Scan play on New Tornado, and that's actually really cool. It was Yufing that said it, and I agree with that because this is one of the more standard maps in the map pool. It's really good for macro, and Scan is a very, very strong macro player, so we'll have to see if Catspaw can make something happen. The losses he's had have been some really interesting like DT rushes, like the one that Oyaji did against him. But we'll have to see if maybe Catspaw can beat his previous success, or his previous loss, sorry, and get a success here in game number 1. of the STPL Season 2, Week number 3, Day number 2, second match. It's SouL versus NetWars. Okay, starting us off in the top left-hand position, we do have the Black Protoss fighting for NetWars. It's Cat's Paw. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand position, we do have the Teal Terran fighting for SouL. Sorry, this is the Cyan Terran. It's Scan. Now, just to make a statement, if you are watching the STPL for the first time, this is a global team league. There are players from all over the world, including Korea. Now, I know Avi is going on a lot about mercenary teams, mercenary players. Now, the one difference between SouL and a lot of the other teams in the league is SouL is more like an actual gaming team. So I believe they actually have their own sponsorship, they've got their own jerseys, and yes, they do pay their players, but they pay all of their players the same amount of money if they win their game. So essentially it gives the players more incentive to practice harder because they are able to get some additional money on top of any possible prize money. And it means they're more likely to show up for their team. It's my eventual goal to not only have SouL do this, but to have every team be able to do this. Now, STPL it's growing. I mean, the viewer numbers have been up massively this season, so huge thank you to all of you guys who have actually tuned in. You're helping grow the STPL. Liquipedia helping grow it as well, and SOA Maturino. There's a lot of things at work here, but my eventual goal is to get each of the teams their own sponsor, and then we can go from there, because obviously once the teams are sponsored, we get more and more professional and we get bigger. So if you want to help the STPL grow, hit that follow button, tune in to all the casts. We cast Monday, Wednesday and Friday every single week, and there's not going to be any casts next week due to a break for Corrupted Cup, but I'm sure I'll see if I can get some stuff going. Huge thank you Erad for the Twitch Prime sub as well. And Pebble, in terms of actually making everything, it's pretty much me. Obviously Rapid does cast with me, which is a massive help, because there is no way I could cast alone 3 days a week. It'd be crazy. But in terms of the people I mainly want to thank, it's actually all the captains of the teams and all the players, because as much as I spend hours and hours and hours actually building all the production and everything, because I want to make this really look good, if it wasn't for the players, I wouldn't have anyone to actually produce for. So the players give me a good amount. And look at Scan getting his SCV in the base, gonna scout everything he needs to see. Now Cat's Paw is not doing anything too cheesy, no proxies. There's gonna be a Cyber Core coming up, Gateway coming up as well. And I sound like Robaz. Now, unfortunately, I don't know who that is, but if you want to link who that is, I'll have a look after the stream. Maybe direct message me or something. But I'm guessing he must be some other British caster. But yeah, I've been casting now for about I guess I started casting 4 years ago, but I didn't really take it seriously. And then when I came back 2 years ago, I started casting a lot more tournaments. So I've got a lot of experience. I've had Rapid actually helping me learn how to cast more professionally as well, and I like to think I'm doing a better job, but it is difficult, and obviously it's very rewarding work, because even if I don't cast perfectly, as long as the players are showing off good games, I have a lot of fun doing it. So hopefully you guys enjoy watching as well, and I'm really glad you love the stream, man. Okay, so Scan, in terms of what he's doing, is going for mines first. No initial tank, so it's going to be a mine expand. Now there is actually a starport coming up as well, so this isn't going to be a mine expand, it's going to be a quick drop. Now this can actually catch a lot of Protoss players off guard, but Cat's Paw is already going into 2 gates. Core is obviously done, so range is going to be done. And there's no expansion attempt. Now, as long as Cat's Paw goes into a robo fairly quickly, Catspor is going to be in a really good position against Scan here. Now, Catspor's seen there's no expansion. He's seen there's only Vultures and only Marines. And if I was Catspor, I would feel very, very confident right now, because this is the kind of build. Catspor, oh no, losing these 2 Dragoons is actually massive. That's a big problem. Catspor does not want to be losing units right now. He needs all the units he can possibly get. And oh, Catspor's actually got a miss rally there, running his Dragoon straight in. Range isn't quite done yet. Does get a nice pick off on that mine. Won't get the Vulture for now though, but here comes the second Dragoon. Oh, he needs to target this mine down. Let's see if he can do it. Nice. Gets the mine. Very, very important to do this. And the dropship is still not out. And Scan can't really afford to lose these units. Scan needs every single unit he can. But we've got the starport coming in.
Open.
We have the Vulture. Am I not confusing the players? Wait, I'm very confused now. Okay, I mean, Catspor did a really, really good job against this, so he's gonna feel quite comfortable again. But speed is done on the Vulture. Huge thank you to the host. 80s, good to see you here, man. 8 viewers. Nice to see you guys over here as well. And we're about to see the highlight match of the night. SouL versus Netwars. Scan is doing a really good job so far, but Catspor has actually been defending pretty well. Now, Catspor unfortunately does not have a robo just yet. The robo is now on the way. There's going to be no observatory. So as long as Catspor can make sure he doesn't die to the dropship, he should be in a good position. Now, Scan has actually used a lot. Well, he's used all of the mines out on the middle of the map, so there's going to be no mines for the main base. But unfortunately, because Catspor doesn't know this is coming, he has all of his units in the wrong place. But look at this, Catspor is figuring something weird is going on. He's going to pull his Dragoons back into his main base. And Scan may not do that much damage here. Let's see what he can do. Scan going to move the Vultures in. The Dragoons are in a very good position. And Scan is actually going to find no damage in the main. Okay, 1 probe does go down, 2 probes, 3 probes. But 3 probes for 4 Vultures when you've spent the entire game building up for this drop. That's not enough damage for Scan. Catspor. Oh no. Oh, the mines. This could be really bad. Okay, that could have been much, much worse. But it looks like Catspor is going to be able to take a Nexus. Scan is expanding. But his expansion, I mean, it is going to finish faster. But realistically, he did not do enough damage. Now let's see what Catspor is going to be able to do against drop number 2. 2 Vultures coming in. All of the Dragoon... Oh, actually, they didn't leave, so that's a bit lucky. But looks like Scan's going to kill another probe. Is he going to get another one? Yes, he is. Great moves, but Scan's units are now trapped, so they are going to go down. I believe he killed another 3 probes there, so that's a pretty big deal. Catspor definitely going to have to make sure he keeps on top of his macro. But I would put Catspor in a pretty good position against Scan here, and that's something that I don't think a lot of people would be expecting me to say. Rapid didn't go to sleep. He's actually got a flight in just a couple of hours, so he has to pack up his computer equipment. If you don't know, Rapid is going to be casting the Corrupted Cup this weekend live from Russia. He's going to be casting it with Artosis as well. Now, he did cast the Russia LAN that Rustbrain hosted last year, but unfortunately they didn't have any proper casting equipment. So Rapid's taking all of his stuff with him, and he's going to do a really good job. I'm really looking forward to seeing him cast with Artosis there. It should be a lot of fun. Corrupted Cup is going to be awesome, guys. So if you're worried that there's no BSL this week and you want to watch some Brood War at the weekend, watch the Corrupted Cup streams. There's going to be streams in multiple languages. It's the biggest foreign LAN since WCG as well, which is absolutely crazy. There is a massive prize pool. All the players are actually getting flown out there by Rustbrain as well, and Rustbrain met their donation target. There's going to be another Corrupted Cup next year, so do tune in to support that. Obviously, before then, we will have another day of STPL on Friday. I'll be solo casting that, and it'll be pretty awesome as well. We're going to have a lot of really good games. There's going to be 3 series. We'll be finishing off the night with IRK versus White, which should be a really exciting series. Now, back to this game, Scan is only now just getting his first armory, so upgrades are going to be very, very late. Scan forced to go into 3 factories on 2 base. Not necessarily something you want to do, maybe. Oh no. Okay, Cat's Paw doesn't really have an excuse for that one. That's a little bit of a mistake there, but losing Dragoons, 2 mines is not really something you want to be doing. Dragoons, a lot of them actually back in the main base here, just because he's so worried about another drop coming in. So this is actually the kind of thing that will give Scan the ability to come back in the game, but there's a 3rd base already up here for Cat's Paw. He's going to be able to transfer some probes, in the fact knowing there is no vultures. Now vultures are going to try and get up there. Wait, why are there no Dragoons up here yet? The Dragoons need to get over. Okay, luckily enough, not all of the probes transferred over. Cat's Paw, his probe production has not been that great. He needs to be building more probes here, because this is really going to start to hurt. Now, it looks like Cat's Paw going to try and block the ramp. Unfortunately, going to be unable to. And Cat's Paw, despite doing doing such a good defense early on, with the lack of macro on the probe production, I think this is going to give Scan an out back into the game. He's going to build his 3rd command center, not on location because he can't really afford to go out. Scan's coming down now, checking for any additional bases. Okay, I thought that was the dropship coming to save these 2 vultures. That would have been the sickest move, but it is a Wraith. Gonna scout around, just see what's going on. And I mean, Cat's Paw just doesn't seem to have enough stuff at the moment, and this could really come back to bite him. Now, usually if this happens, you would see Arbiter Tech or something that's blocking the stuff coming up, but there isn't actually anything. Now, Scan going to take the high ground pod, going to make it very difficult to push through, and also break through this immediately. Tanks kill those very, very quickly. Yeah, Scan is... Thing is, like, in a normal situation, Scan would be behind now, because he did go for 1 base, and it didn't really work out. But unfortunately, Cat's Paw doesn't have enough workers to actually make use of his 3 base economy at the moment. Now, it is a bit unfortunate, because obviously, Cat's Paw did take a pretty big lead early on. But look at this, the Zealots don't drop out either. That's a big, big loss. Imagine if it drops Zealots on all these tanks, we could be looking at a different situation. But Cat's Paw, unfortunately, is having a little trouble against Scan. Now, obviously, Scan, one of the best amateur players in Korea. He was never actually, I believe, on a pro team. I think he was like a practice partner in the SKT house for a little bit, but he never got his pro gaming license, so... Okay, well, let's see what's going to happen. Scan has a massive army now. He's got, well, +1 attack should be almost done. Yeah, so +1 attack is almost done. Science facility finishing immediately afterwards. Scan's macro is incredibly good. And let's see Cat's Paw. He's going to try and break in. He doesn't have Zealot speed yet. And it's going to be basically Dragoons against mass tanks. And that is not going to go very well. Obviously, Cat's Paw did sub for Yeti, so maybe he was a little bit unprepared. The last game he played in the STPL was over 12 months, or 11 months ago. And coming back to fight against Scan is probably not the easiest thing to do, but Cat's Paw, I mean, he put up a good fight. He defended Scan's drop very well early on. It's just his economy kind of fell apart after that, and he wasn't able to get that big economy that Protoss needs. But yeah, definitely a little bit unfortunate here for Cat's Paw. Scan, unless a miracle happens, is going to take this game. There is a good number of gateways back here, but he doesn't have enough workers, and he's trying to build another Nexus, but you need units, you need gateways, and you need probes, and that's something you don't actually have at the moment. So I don't want to speak too badly of Cat's Paw here, but Scan definitely going to win this game. There's absolutely nothing that Cat's Paw can do, unfortunately. But yeah, GG, Cat's Paw taps out, and I mean, that is a really unfortunate game because Cat's Paw did a really good job early on. It's just, I think maybe nerves got to him a little bit when you think about it. When you're against a player such as Scan, who is one of the best amateur players in Korea, and he's been a pretty much dominator of foreign tournaments for a very, very long time, there can be a lot of pressure there, and that's obviously going to build up on you, and you can maybe make some mistakes you wouldn't normally see. And if you have such a massive break between games, it's difficult. And I mean, if we're being honest, Catspor has played 2 games in the STPL, and unfortunately both of them he's ended up against Scan, so definitely unfortunate for him. Scan taking a very decisive win in game 1, and that's going to take us into game 2, which should be a lot more exciting. It's going to be Noob versus Koga when we get back after this. See you guys very soon.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
STPL does. Bio TVP. Wow! You got it. STPL does. Mass Scouts? No problem. Broadcast 3 nights a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2100 CEST. Fantastic casting, fantastic production, fantastic prizes. Only here on the STPL. Did you know Reavers could be this radical? How did these lings even get here? All I know is that's one dead base. STPL does. Wraiths, Valkyries, Carriers, and Corsairs. Forget about it. You won't see that anywhere else. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. DT's doing game-ending damage? Name a more iconic duo. We've even got Carriers in PvZ. How amazing! A global team league on the scale you've never seen before. Don't see this in BWCL, STPL does. All that and more, only on this amazing 64-bit STPL. What BWCL don't. Impressed? I know I am. Why not support us on the link below? Patreon.com/kicks. Hello guys, welcome back to some more STPL action. Now, there was a little bit of change of schedule here. It looks like Noob was subbed out, so he was actually subbed out to Perfume. Now, Perfume is a newer player here for SouL. I've not seen him play before. I know he did do pretty well in one of the recent G's Weeklies, which is another tournament hosted by Russ Brain. So we're going to skip straight into Kogat's introduction even. Koga really does need no introduction. If you've been a follower of the STPL and a follower of the scene in general, Koga is rank 3. Now, I am going to point out something in a second, but Koga has beat some incredibly good players. He's had some incredibly good games. He's not even super active anymore, and he's got an 80% win ratio. He's 13 wins, 5 losses against Protoss. He is an incredibly good foreign Terran player, and I cannot wait to see him actually play this game. This is what I'm just going to show off. Look at the top 10, guys. So, top 10, the top 2 are Noob and Scan, and then you have Koga and Eon Zerg in 3rd and 4th. Koga is 24 wins, 6 losses overall. He has won 2 of his ace match appearances and lost 1. And he's 6-for-1 against Terran and 5-0 against Zerg. This man is an absolute beast. And this is why, if anyone can get a win against SouL here, it's going to be him as we get into map number 2. It's going to be the debut of BlitzX today. BlitzX is one of my favorite 2-player maps. The bases very close by air, but very far by ground. There is this path through the middle of the map that we'll have a look at as we get into it, through like a mini gap. Only small units can get through there, so maybe we'll see Perfume play a little bit cheeky, go for a proxy 2 gate somewhere, or maybe we could see a really awesome macro game. Hopefully we're going to see that as we get into game number 2. It's Kogut versus Perfume. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the... I don't know how to explain this color. It's like an off-blue Protoss. It's going to be Perfume, fighting for SouL. And his opponent spawning here in the top right-hand position, in the dark blue, is going to be Kogut. Yeah, this is navy blue and the other one's royal blue, isn't it? Because there's also royal navy, which is just a different shade of blue as well. Like, I know they are both blue, but on the minimap there's actually quite a good distinction. Like, I find this a little bit easier to see. Oh my god, is Perfume really just going to build a gateway right outside of Kogut's main? This is incredibly risky. Like, you can actually wall this off with a single depot and a single barracks, so I'm not sure this is worth it. Now, Kogut isn't actually building a wall with his first depot. He's going to block the zealots from going around the top half of the minerals, but look at this gateway on the way already. This is so close to Kogut's ramp. Like, Kogut sends a single scout and it's pretty much seen, so let's see what's going to happen. Kogut, no way Kogut is going to build his barracks in the middle of nowhere. Oh my god, he does. And Kogut hasn't scouted yet. He's waiting to 13. Now, okay, here we go. The scout's coming out. Look how close this gateway is. He sees it immediately. And you know what? This would actually be a good time to just pull SCVs. And that's what he's going to do. It takes around 5 SCVs, I believe it is, to finish a gateway off before the first zealot can come out. But maybe he catches it quick enough. Yeah, look how quickly the shields are actually going down. It obviously takes a little bit longer to actually kill the gateway itself, so he's going to have to bring a few more workers down, but back at home, Perfume doesn't have another pylon or anything, so if this gateway doesn't do anything, Kogut is going to be on a massive advantage, but Kogut needs to focus this. He's spamming attack, he's trying to get it down as quick as possible. He may get it, the zealot's about to pop out. Oh, the zealot pops out in the last second here. Perfume with a little bit of luck there. Kogut unfortunately not sending enough SCVs initially. But, I mean, Kogut's in a good spot. He's going to be able to defend this at least on his ramp for now. He needs to be very careful not to lose these SCVs, though, because Perfume back at home has kept his... Okay, nice pick off on the probe. But it's the Zealot. The Zealot's doing so much damage. The Marine needs to get over here. Okay, so this is going to be the problem. Kogut does not have his buildings to wall against Zealots. He was not prepared for this. And this is what happens. This could be a very quick game. I'm really praying that Kogut can hold on here, because all it is a single Zealot. Like, you should literally just pull all of your SCVs, because the second this Zealot dies, Perfume has no units. There's no gateway back at home just yet. It's just coming up. So there's no follow-up on this for Perfume. All he has to do is kill this Zealot, and he's doing his utmost best to make it happen, but microing Marines against Zealots is incredibly difficult. Okay, you don't need to pull all of the SCVs, but like pulling a few would really help, because this is rough. Like, you're losing a lot more mining time than you necessarily need to. It looks like the Zealot is finally going to go down, but it's killed 6 units. I mean, this is exactly what Perfume needed to do with this Zealot, because look, Gateway's done at home, Cybercore's done at home as well. There's a second Zealot on the way, and suddenly Kogut, who only had a few Marines anyway, is down to 1 Marine, and there's going to be a second Zealot heading towards his base. Here is an example of that gap in the middle, where Zealots can actually run through. Dragoons can't get through there, which will make it a little bit more difficult. But Koga is going to need to build a bunker or something. He doesn't have any gas. He's only got 3 Marines. He didn't go for a second barracks or anything like that, so that Zealot did so much damage. Like, if he'd have pulled some SCVs sooner, maybe this would be a different situation. But here we go. Looks like we're actually going to have some probes mining out the middle. Now, the reason behind this is you take out some of these minerals here, and all of a sudden you have a path for your Dragoons to get through. Now, the Zealot getting on top of the Marines. Once again, the bunker is about to finish. But as soon as the Marines get in the bunker, the Zealot's just going to run past. Surely, no, the Zealot actually did take a lot of damage. So it is going to be able to survive for now. But we've got another Marine coming out. Still no factory, though, for Koga. He doesn't have any gas. He's only just now starting to get that mining down. The gas steel has done so much. Now, Koga, obviously, with 2 CCs, as long as he keeps up his production, is going to be in a very good situation in terms of economy. But he needs to make sure he keeps this up, because eventually the 2 gates are going to kick in. Koga has scouted this at least. But there's no expansion here for Perfume, so Koga is definitely still at an advantage, and Perfume's even supply block now after losing that additional pylon. But there's still all to play for. Koga going into 2 factory behind this. Obviously this is going to be the kind of major move you'll go for. You've got your expansion up. We should see an academy and an armory coming in soon as well. The academy is on the way. Gonna need scan just in case. Now, obviously, he did scout with his SCV, but you can never know if there's another proxy somewhere, especially when you've already fought that. Now, unfortunately, actually, fortunately even, just taking out that mineral is enough to get those Dragoons through. So, Koga's gonna have to hold on. He still doesn't have a tank. The factory has only just now finished, so there's going to need a lot of SCVs pulled here. He needs to pull more SCVs or this bunker's going to die. And if he loses the bunker, he can actually just outright lose the game. This is such a big problem. Now, Koga looked like he wanted to try and land the barracks in the main and go for like a firebat run by or something, which we've seen before, but that's not going to work. So Koga is just going to have to desperately hold on to this bunker until the tank's done. So it's difficult. You mess up the repair once, the bunker dies, you lose the game. It's so hard. Now, this barracks is going to get a full-on scout, so that's pretty good. Just keeping an eye on this just to see what's happening. Okay, more SCVs have come up. He's actually cycling the SCVs in and out of the bunker as they get shot at. Really nice micro here by Koga. But he needs to hold on to his bunker. If he loses the bunker, it's game over. He needs to pull more SCVs. Here we go. The bunker actually does manage to kill one of the Dragoons, and the tank is finally here. But this tank is the most important unit in the game for Koga right now. Wait, did he actually go for range? No, I don't think he did, because they'd be attacking it right now. But look at this, like the tank's finally out, but he's still not out of hot water yet. You can see the bunker is in trouble again. He pulled all his SCVs away. The bunker's going to go down. Siege mode is done. And SCVs are going to be forced to be pulled, but Koga is doing a really good job. He needs to keep his tank alive, though. If this tank goes down, this is another problem. He's still up against 2 Gate Goon. He's sieging again. There's no bunker. There's nothing to buffer. The SCVs move away again for some reason. The tank's going to go down. This is a massive no, he saves the tank. Okay. Phew. That would have been massive if that tank had gone down, because that was pretty much everything that Koga had to hold on. Now, Koga is up in workers. Perfume, however, is finally getting his Nexus up. The barracks is about to burn down, but he's going to see that there's a robo. Is he going to see the robo support bay, though? That's going to be a massive thing. Now, the observatory is coming up. But does he check this top right or top left corner? That's going to be a massive moment if he doesn't scout it. He's not going to check it. Oh, no. Oh, he doesn't know Reavers are coming. Oh, this could be bad. There's going to be a shuttle coming into his main. Reaver is already out, and there is absolutely no defense in his main. No reaction either. Koga not reacting to the minimap. Okay, he is going to try and hold on with some SCVs. He does have an SCV lead at the moment. But he needs to pull the SCVs away. He was trying to avoid doing it as long as he could, but unfortunately, sometimes you just have to. Now, the Reaver's going to fly into the natural. Can he get some damage done there? It's going to be hard for the Scarab to get through. And look at this. He's just going to cycle back. He's going to drop on top of this tank. Oh, a Goliath comes out at the perfect time. Okay, he should be able to hold on to this. But the Dragoons coming in once again. The tank getting sniped at the front. Really nice moves by Perfume. And if this turret goes down, it's going to make it a little bit easier for the Reavers to come in. And look at this. The Reaver taking a pot shot on the Goliath, on the tank. Where are Kogat's units? Okay, so we finally do have another tank up here. It can't move too far forward. The turret is going to go down though. And when this goes down, the shuttle is just going to fly over there. But the shuttle's low. The Goliaths get the shot with the Reaver in. And they immediately get the Dragoon as well. So Kogat is still in a good spot. This game is on a knife edge though. Kogat he's only on 4 factory off of 1 base, or 2 base even, which is pretty impressive. But he did take a little bit of SCV damage there. He took a lot of mining time lost as well. And that's the kind of moves that Perfume needed to make. Now, unfortunately for Perfume, he did lose the Reaver in the shuttle. So this is going to make it a lot harder for him to hold off against any possible pushes by Kogat. And the middle of the map's open as well. And that's going to give Kogat the ability to push. But even Kogat's lost so many units that that's going to make that very difficult. Okay, we've got speed coming in for the shuttle. He's going to see there's another shuttle here with his scan, which is super important because this is going to mean he's going to try and defend against a possible Reaver drop again. Obviously, if you don't defend and suddenly you lose all your SCVs, then you're going to be in big trouble. But look at this, Kogat. His SCV production lapsed a little bit, and all of a sudden, Perfume is almost even on workers. There's going to be 5 gateways, I believe this is. Yeah, 5 gateways against 4 factories, so there's not going to be a possible push coming out here from Kogat. And Kogat is going to have to go into a science facility, and that's late. +1 attack is already done, and there's no +2 attack on the way yet. And Kogat is starting to scan all over the map because he thinks that Perfume has another expansion, and he's got no way of checking any way other than scan. He's got no speed vultures. I don't even think he has the upgrade. Yeah, speed isn't even done. And he's stuck playing super defensively. Like, Perfume, despite having his rush kind of thwarted, is doing an amazing job. He's got a 3rd base before Kogat has. And he's actually pulling ahead now. He's going to have 3 Nexuses worth of probe production. If he can keep up with that, he's going to be in an amazing position. Kogat is actually a little bit worried about pushing out. Look at this, it's going to be a double Bulldog. We're going to have a massive amount of Protoss units barreling down the front here. Kogat does not have all his units at the front. Let's see if he's actually able to hold on against this. The Zealots at the back doing tons, but the tank's actually holding on pretty well. SCV's coming out and helping, but a load of Kogat's units are stuck in the back. The Dragoons getting into the natural, gonna get one of the tanks again, and every time Kogat loses a tank, he loses the ability to push more and more. At least the shuttles have gone down, and he did survive without taking too much SCV damage. But the 3rd command center has been delayed. There is no units in the base to actually defend it. But luckily enough, Kogat has held on. He didn't die there. That could have gone a lot worse than it did. And by opening up the center of the map before, this 3rd base location by Perfume is a big mistake, because if Kogat can actually start to push onto the high ground eventually, he is going to be able to get a ton of damage done. Now, I don't know whether Kogat's going to scan for that. He's scanning for tech at the moment just to see what's going on. He's going to see the 4 additional gateways. I believe he just about saw the Citadel, so he should know Templar Archive should be coming up soon after this. But Kogat's still checking around for 3rd bases at the moment. Now, we do have a probe. Kogat's Vulture should be able to see this and hopefully to kill that off, but he does need to scout this base. If he can scout this, he can push it so unbelievably easy. Now, there we go. The scan going down on it. Let's see what the reaction's like. He knows there's not too many units here for Perfume, so he can both expand and push at the same time. Vulture's getting into the 3rd base. 1 probe, 2 probes, 3 probes. Okay, it looks like he missed target fired there. So only getting 3 probes, but 4 probes, 5 probes, 6 probes, 7 probes. Okay, 7 probes is a massive amount of damage for Perfume to be taking. And Perfume, despite getting a little bit closer to bringing it back even, is now finding himself behind again in the work account. And he does have more supply, so Kogut does need to be careful while pushing this. But if Kogut can push carefully, then we should be in a good position with Kogut here. But look at this, the Bulldog coming in once again. The tank's in a very good position though, sieging up, getting a lot of the Dragoons. But look at this, more Dragoons coming in from the back. Perfume is breaking through with his unbelievable army size. And GG, Kogut taps out, maybe being a little bit too fast there on the draw. And Perfume takes game number 2. Yeah, unfortunately Kogut was trying to expand onto the high ground, so he's pushing up. He was on high ground there, but he was able to be surrounded from 2 angles, and the main thing there was actually the drop of the Zealots. The Zealots did so much damage to the tanks, not only from the splash damage, but also just from killing tanks really quickly. So, I mean, Kogut did a really good job that game. He survived against the early aggression. He also survived against the Reaver, but unfortunately Perfume just played perfectly there and did manage to win the game in the end. Now that's going to take us into game number 3 when we get back after this short break while I get a drink, so see you guys in a few minutes. Been detected. Where has he put the nuke though? Oh man, I know it's somewhere in this location, but where? Where is the nuke? It's definitely, there we go, it's on top of the sunken and boom! And the nuke goes down, and so does all the drones. What a nuke right there. Oh, here we go. Oh boy. The nuke on the position again. It's on this base, this poor base. I can't see the red dot though. Where on earth is the red dot? Maybe he's put it on like the blood or something. There we go. Directly on the hatcher, on the lair. Absolutely abolished one. Annihilated the base. Man. Oh man. There we go. The nuke is going to go down. Can it get the hatchery? Yes it can. 300 minerals in the drink. We see more and more ultra stream. Remaining signs. Nuclear launch detected. The red dot on the hatchery. Has Cold realized? I don't think he has. He's not pulling away. He's going for an all-in attack. But I want to watch the nuke. It's going to be so huge. Oh man, all of the remaining drones are going to go down. There we go. Boom, once again. And GG. Radley cleans up the final drones. And the game ends with Net Wars up 2-0.
Never know what hit 'em.
Nuclear launch detected.
Okay, now starting in the top right hand position, we do have fighting for Ash in the blue. It's Radley. Radley is lifted as his science facility, and you know what? Okay guys, I am back. We're here for some more STPL action. We're currently watching SouL versus Net Wars. SouL once again showing their strength, 2-0 up against Net Wars, and we're going to be heading into game number 3. It's going to be Zealot versus Mr. Zero. It should be a really cool ZVZ, hopefully. Let's actually have a look at the player history. Zealot hasn't played too many games in the STPL, but he is currently 4-for-1. So really, really strong win ratio for him. Zealot, in case you don't know, is an amateur. I think he's an ex-pro. I can never remember if he's amateur or ex-pro. He's actually got really good English, so I believe Cadenzi actually made pretty good friends with him out there. Zealot taught Cadenzi quite a lot of stuff. Zealot known for being incredibly aggressive. So we'll have to see if that comes into play in his ZVZ here. This is going to be his first ZVZ in the STPL, and he is going to be up against Mr. Bombastic himself. It is Mr. Zero. Zero obviously going to be a fan favorite here. And I didn't realize you were here, Cadenzi, so thank you for pointing that out. Awesome. He is actually an amateur player for anyone watching the YouTube VOD. But Zero, obviously the fan favorite here. He's played a decent number of games. He's actually 50-50, so he's won 8, lost 8. Now, he's actually lost a lot more games recently, but when you look at who he's had to play against, Tengu, he gave a walkover win to, unfortunately. His car broke down, so he didn't make it home in time for his game. But he played against DeWalt twice in a row, once on Neo Outlier, once on Eye of the Storm. And yeah, he lost against Noob as well. So Zero has definitely been Cryok too. He's been up against some incredibly tough opponents. So I'm excited to see how he's going to do here in this CVZ. We're going to be heading on to our third map of the day. It's going to be Multiverse. This map is pretty cool. We've only had one CVZ on here so far. It was a relatively quick one, just because of the outcome of the game. Like, Lings did a lot of damage early on. Now, because this is a ZVZ, the map features probably won't come into it, so I won't go into them too much in depth. But obviously, once we get in the game, I can explain them a little bit different here. So, let's get into game number 3. It is Zero versus Zealot. And I swear these two teams have done this deliberately. I deliberately said, please do not pick shades of the colors that are the same. And we've got peach versus pink, so I guess this is what we're doing now. Now, luckily enough, it's not yellow versus white, but on the minimap, these colors are essentially the same. So thank you very much, both Zero and Zealot. I will be giving you a scolding after the game when I'm done casting, because this really isn't helpful to viewers, so luckily enough, it is a ZVZ, and realistically, if we're going to think about how ZVZ actually operates, we'll only be looking at these colors for about 5 to maybe 10 minutes. So, not to worry guys, we'll go back to some more normal colors soon. It's not a hack, they're not the same color, they're just 2 shades of pink. So, well, I guess peach isn't really a shade of pink. It's just very similar. I think this is possibly the magenta color, but it's maybe just because it's the Twilight set. It does look a bit funky, so... And I guess Pebble does make a good point. Zergs are all part of a hive, so they're all similar colors. But how does ZVZ work then? Because if you think about it, it's 2 Cerebrates having a go at each other. Now, Zero is the one that actually got the better scout here. He scouted close by air. For some reason, Zella actually opted to go across the map. I think he was maybe worried about some early Lings, but that's going to cost him a lot of information as we go on in this game, as Zero is actually going to be going for a 12 hatch. Now, 12 hatch in ZVZ against someone you know is going for spawning pool into gas is very risky. I mean, Zero is the sort of player that can win from a build order disadvantage. Now, in ZVZ, like, in PvP, there's some build orders that are just outright better than other ones, so you'll have DT against no obs or something like that, and the DTs will just win, right? But in ZVZ, 12 hatch can hold against 9 pool speed. Obviously, it was a 12 pool as well, so Zealot isn't super going to be super aggressive here. He is going to be expanding behind this himself, knowing that Zero could be going for an expansion. But obviously the lair and speed at least is going to be up a lot quicker for Zealot here. So Zero is going to need to be careful. The pool and the speed is going to finish fairly shortly though. And the hatchery is obviously going to finish a lot sooner. Did I completely mess up the clock face? Yes, I did. So... yeah, 0 is meant to be in 6. Let me just fix that. Luckily enough, I've got a button that does it, so I don't even need to really do too much. There we go. Lair coming in for Zealot. Interestingly, Zealot is actually going to get his lair around the same time as Zero is. So Zero going to skip Ling speed, at least early on. Obviously, Zealot going to get his a little bit quicker because the gas came up so much faster. But the main reason why Zero can get away with this is he sees everything that Zealot's done. Now, Zealot hasn't gone for a swell of Lings. He's had his Overlord in this base the entire game, pretty much. Like, this Overlord flew over in about 30 seconds. So, Zero with perfect information. Zealot, of course, with perfect information as well. And let's see if these two Lings can do anything. Now, they are going to meet another two Lings in the middle of the map. Let's see what the micro is going to be like. Now, Zealot, of course, adding on a few additional Lings. So Zero is going to have to be careful. But there's already a Sunken up here. And look at the drone count even. Zero up 4 drones? That's crazy. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, you can't shift tab in a replay because they both become yellow. And that makes it even more confusing. I do apologize. I will make sure for further weeks that the players do not pick the same colors. Unfortunately, because it's not casted live, I can't actually force them to do it. I've just got to look for their goodwill. But I know Fuji especially will make sure that SouL does it. So, looks like, wow, the Sunken's actually going to go down. Zealot doing a ton of damage. Obviously, that's an extra drone that would have gone down in that Sunken. And Zealot's adding on a lot of additional Lings here, but Zero is adding his own. Now, back at home, Zealot is going for Aspire. There's still a drone advantage here for Zero, but let's see if Zealot can get into the base. If he can get in with all of these Lings, this could be a massive problem. Now, the Concave is actually pretty good for Zealot, so he is going to get a good engagement, but there's 4 drones, 5 drones even, coming out there and doing a ton of help. But Zealot's coming in with more and more Lings. Is Zero maybe played a little bit too greedy? Obviously, opting for so many drones is a benefit early on, but when you get to this stage in the game, it can be quite dangerous. Now, the hatchery realistically needs to hold here for Zero, so the drones are going to come out the line again, and they're going to do a decent amount of damage, but 2 Lings are going to break into the main. Luckily enough for Zero, he does have some more Lings spawning, so Zealot is not going to find any damage, I don't believe. But obviously Zero has to be careful. If there's a load of Lings that suddenly come into his natural, he needs to defend his drones over there. Now, second gas is going to come up for Zero a lot quicker, and Zero does still have a 3 drone advantage. So let's see what Zero can do with his Lings. He's going to go in for a scout. He's not going to be able to do any damage. Obviously, the Mute is going to be able to deal with this, but Zero has actually been adding on a ton of Lings. Now, if these Lings can get in, and if he kills all of the drones, there's no Sunken. So maybe he can make a miracle happen. And the important thing is, he's keeping Zealot's drones away from his mineral line because he doesn't have any Mutalisks. Okay, he has 4, sorry. They are hiding in the bottom right of his natural though. But he's forced out Lings from Zealot. He's going to be able to get this drone for sure. Now he's actually going to try and skip past into the main. I think focusing that drone maybe would have been a bit better. But Zealot's actually down to 11 drones now. It's 11 versus 15. Somehow Zero managed to get an extra drone in this as well. But look at this. It's going to be 7 Mutalisks against 6. 8 Mutalisks actually. So this could be the turn of the tide here for Zealot. Zealot's Mutant Micro is incredibly good. Now, it's so hard to follow this. It is 7 against 4. 3 against 3. How has he still got 7? How's he got 7 Mutalisks alive? GG, Zealot with the perfect engagement, only losing a single Mutalisk, killing so much of Zero's, and Zero is forced to tap out. Wow, I genuinely cannot believe that Zealot won that fight so easily. He only lost a single Mutalisk. He killed 6 Mutas. How did he do that? To be honest, regardless of colors, it is so hard to tell what's happening in ZVZ. So that wasn't too bad. Looks like the final game we have a lot of better colors even. Obviously, SouL do take the 3-0 victory of the series, but game number 4 was still played and it does still count. We are going to head straight into that just because I don't want to keep you guys waiting for another break after we just had a ZVZ. Kind of feels a little bit unfair. But obviously, Zealot took that win there, and it's going to be up to I was about to say it's going to be up to Bonneth to pull one game back, but then I remember Bonneth is playing for SouL now, so Bonneth is going to be up against Wolfix. Just to announce, or just to show off Bonneth, if you don't know who he is, maybe you're checking the STPL for the first time, you don't maybe follow the foreign scene or something, you found me through the front, well, not the front page, but like the directory or something. Bonneth is without a doubt the #1 foreigner, but in STPL he hasn't been. He's got a 59% win ratio, but he's only ranked 16. His ELO is not super high or anything. He's played against some incredibly good players, so he played against Mind twice. He did play against him, then play against him again in the Ace match. Now, both of those games were actually surprisingly close. And the other thing is, like, Bonneth is a beast, but he keeps coming against these crazy players. Like, he played against Eon Zerg twice, and both times he died to early lings. So, I mean, Bonneth is certainly not showing his full strength in the SCPL so far, but now he's on SouL. I think we're going to see a lot more wins with him. Obviously, one thing that maybe Abby doesn't know, and a lot of people doesn't know, is that essentially the Korean players in SouL, they don't not play with the foreign players. I know Abby goes on and on about how they're mercenaries or whatever, but Dandy and Ultra get a lot of practice in with Scan and stuff like that, so it really does benefit the foreign players to be on SouL. And his opponent is going to be for Net Wars, it's Wolfix. Now, Wolfix has only played one game so far in the STPL, that was last week, but he did lose. That was actually against White Clan. Net Wars have definitely been up against the ropes, going against the top 2 clans pretty much in a row from STPL Season 1. So it's going to be difficult, and yes, that was Mind, the Korean pro. The old KT Mind used to play on We Made Fox as well. He plays for White Clan, and so does Best. They don't play very often, but they always come out against the strongest teams, because White Clan do not take this lightly. They do want to win, and so does SouL. So essentially, the two, White Clan and SouL are obviously two of the bigger teams, so they do have such diverse rosters. But regardless, we're going to go into game number 4. It's going to be on Whiteout here. You may remember this map from the last season of ASL, well, I guess it was 2 seasons ago now, because ASL Season 8 just finished. But an incredibly cool 3-player map, lots and lots of fun, and I am looking forward to getting to Bonneth versus Wolfix here as we get started with the final game of the evening. Okay, starting us off here in the 6 o'clock location, we do have the magenta colored Protoss fighting for SouL. Nearly said Net Wars there. It's Bonneth. And his opponent spawning up here in the top right hand position. We do have the green Terran fighting for Net Wars. It's Wolfix. Okay, so we'll have to see what Bonneth's plan is here. I definitely think PVT is his strongest matchup so far in the SCPL. He is 5 for 5, but 2 of those losses do count for Mind, the Korean pro, old KT player. Now, we do have a gateway first coming in from Bonneth. Nothing to be too surprised about. Now, Wolfix knows Bonneth well. In fact, most foreign players will know Bonneth, and they'll know his style very well. He appears in pretty much every single tournament that's possibly going to be played. He's going to be at the Corrupted Cup this weekend, and essentially, like, if you need to study his games to know what he's going to do, you've pretty much got the best target here. And I mean, Wolfix and Bonith have been on the same team for a very, very long time as well. So Wolfix should know what Bonith is going to throw at him. He's already got his barracks and his depot ready for a wall because he's worried about a possible zealot coming towards his base. Now, we're not going to see that this game. Bonith is in fact going to go straight into Dragoons, but just useful. Now, I know you say what's the point of going to Russia for a best of one, and I know that got brought up on the Pylon show yesterday, but essentially your flights are paid for, you're going to be there all weekend anyway, you're going to have lots of fun, and when you're Bonith, you're likely not going to lose a best of one regardless, right? And even if you are going to lose, you're still going to get the chance to go and play on one of the biggest stages that Brood War has had outside of Korea in the last decade and a bit. It's crazy. Like, I know they were complaining, like, oh, like Models especially was like, oh, why would I go to Russia for a single game? And it's not just the game you're going there for. If you're going and you don't think you're going to win, then that shows your confidence is too low. But it's the experience. Like, if you don't think you're going to win, then sure. I mean, when you're going up against some of the biggest players in foreign Brood War, it's going to be difficult. But all of the players qualified and all of them are super strong. So it's going to be hard. But here we go. Bonnet did go for the Zealot in the end. It was a little bit delayed, but the Probe and the Zealot going to try and come in here and do a little bit of damage. Now, Wolfix is ready for this. His factory has finished. Now, there is going to be a Vulture forced, which is something you necessarily don't want to do. Oh, wow. It's actually going to be 2 factory, and it's been scouted. So, really nice micro here by Wolfix so far against this Zealot. Gets the Probe. But Bonith gets so much damage done with Zealots that I really do wonder how he does it. Like, I think it was Jaeyoon it was either Jaeyoon or Tai2 said in the Pylon show yesterday that essentially Bonith micros like a Korean pro, like, or at least a top Korean who's not on the pro level, because he really does. Like, he gets so much damage done with single units. Like, I know he didn't kill anything there, but that just goes to show how good Wolfix micro was, because most players would lose both those Marines and lose the SCV build in the second barracks. Now, second factory even. We are going to have a robo support bay coming in. The people casting Corrupted Cup is going to be Rapid and Artosis, so that's why Rapid left early, because essentially he has to pack all his PC stuff up to go get on his flight. So he's actually flying out in a few hours, I believe. So I'm really looking forward to seeing his cast. It's going to be this weekend. Obviously before that we're going to have some more STPL as well, and it should be fun. But Cat Camera Bell, Hawk may have a chance of getting knocked out in a best of one, but he still made it into the tournament by qualifying, which is a hard job in itself, because the qualifiers were really tough. And he's also going to get to go for free to Russia to not only get to experience a big Brood War land, but also get a little bit of a holiday as well, so I wouldn't complain. Okay, so Bonith is staying on one base. This should give Wolfix an idea that he needs to be careful. Now, it was actually 2-fact Vulture to begin with. He's going mass Vulture upgrades, but he's actually going to divert because he sees there's no expansion. So he knows that Bonith, who is known for his Reavers, mainly in PvZ, but obviously PvT, Reavers can be very good as well. He's going to be able to... Wait, does he scout that? No, but there is a Wraith, so let's see if the Wraith can actually start... Oh, the Wraith hasn't finished yet. Okay, is he actually going to be defended? Okay, he's got some mines, so that's going to be helpful. Oh my god, the Reaver! Oh my god, Bonith is so good. Oh, a huge Scarab. Oh, he gets another 4 workers. This Reaver's getting so many kills. Another one. I think the 6-minute curse is activated, guys. If you have... Oh my god, he's lost another 4 workers. If you're a sub to the STPL, get your STPL curse emote done, because 6 minutes, curse has been activated. Wolfix dies to a Reaver. Very, very unfortunate there, but wow. Bonith microing his Reaver perfectly against that mine. What an incredibly good job. Man, there was mines there. He just killed them because Bonith is that good. Well, guys, obviously for Net Wars that is going to be a disappointing loss, but SouL were the champions from last season, and they are an incredibly strong team, and unfortunately, Net Wars have lost True Touch and Bonith, so I can't remember why True Touch has stopped playing. I think he's actually like semi-retiring or something, because he's going to Corrupted Cup, but I believe he's going to take a break from all other tournaments, so we'll need someone from Net Wars to basically confirm, but I mean they've lost two of their major players. Now Kogut did an incredible job, and honestly Kogut could have won that game. He just got himself into a bit of a weird position, but overall, like thinking about it, that was an incredibly well played game by Bonith. Like that micro against the mine, while it wasn't that impactful because he probably would have won the game anyway, he still got the win. And I mean that's going to take us into the results. We're going to have a look at those just to see how the series panned out. Now obviously if you've been watching since the beginning, you will know exactly what happened, but we still go through them anyway. Scan took down Catspaw. That was a bit one-sided, unfortunately. Catspaw did a really good job defending early game, and then his macro slipped, so he didn't have enough workers and he couldn't come back. And then we're going to have Perfume against Kogut. Perfume played almost perfectly. He took tons of damage, but he did just enough to Kogut to even out the game, and then Kogut took a massive lead again, and Perfume took the best engagement I've ever, well not ever, like this is a bit of an exaggeration, but at least in a good few months, the best PvT engagement I think I've seen, and he absolutely demolished Kogut's army and won the game. It was crazy. Zealot took down Zero. Unfortunately, Zero lost the Muta battle there in the ZVZ. And then Bonith took down Wolf on Whiteout. That was a little bit, well, in fact, that was incredibly one-sided. Wolf trying to go for a 2-factory. Unfortunately, unable to find any damage. And then the Wraith didn't pop out in time, so he lost to a Reaver. That's obviously very disappointing there for Net Wars, but you can't hold it against them. They were up against three of the strongest teams in the STPL in a row, so Net Wars of course do lose their first 3 games, but there is still another 11 weeks after this, so they have a lot of time to come back. The top 8 teams are going to be the ones advancing into the playoffs. So let's actually have a look at the team rankings midway through week 3. So there are still 6 teams to play, so this is going to change of course on Friday, but you can see that Net Wars are 1 for 2, so they actually won their first series, but they lost against SouL and White Clan in a row, or White and SouL in a row. They were 2 teams they struggled against. SouL have bled before, and I'm sure they can bleed again. They did get taken out by RK in round 1 of season 1, but SouL definitely have an incredibly strong roster. Now they're actually going to be playing up against White Clan in a few weeks, so that should be a really fun matchup again. That'll be a rematch of the season 1 final. But you can see, just from quickly looking, SouL and White Clan at the top. White Clan still to play their 3rd game. Naz, Clan Rev tied up in 4th position. We've got Bull, IRK, Valhalla, Nice, Psystorm, Red, Net Wars, Eternal Friends, DM, and Ash. So that should be really sick. So the current owner of SouL is Fujikura. He actually used to run one of the Quantic teams, I believe. His old username used to be Quantic Fujikura. He's Dazonary. If you ever see him in Twitch chat, he's usually quite active. He was actually at the LA LAN recently as well and gave models his SouL shirt. And I would just like to point out, I've been in SouL a lot longer than models because I'm a caster for them. And I mean, I don't have my SouL shirt yet. He said I dodged him at BlizzCon last year, but I didn't even know he was going. So if you guys want to get on Fujikura's case for me and get me my SouL shirt, I'd be very, very appreciative. But just want to say a huge thank you for all of you for tuning in. We had some of the best viewership we've ever had today. Thanks for all the follows, the subs, any possible Patreon and Matrino donations as well. Just for a final shout out as well, hit the Matrino link, guys. Put in that code LSTPL. You can add 50 cents to the prize pool, completely and utterly free. And of course, a huge shout out to our sponsors, over at Liquipedia for donating an initial $500 to the prize pool. That's a third of what the Season 1 prize pool was, so an absolutely massive amount of money. And I will see you guys on Friday just to go through the matchups we're going to have. We're going to start with VT, Valhalla team versus Nice. That should be sick. We're going to have Sai versus DM. And then we're going to be finishing with IRK versus White. So it's going to be solo casting again. It's going to be 3 series. So it's going to be a very long cast. And you guys will not want to miss it. See you guys then.